During my first year of a full-time job, I've been able to pay off my debt. I've been able to upgrade my camera, upgrade my PC setup, and get my very first car.
Weird flex, but okay.
Sorry about the flex, but I just wanted to show you what you can do if you follow the personal finance tips that I will share in this video. So a little bit of a backstory. During my 4 years of undergrad life, I was really bad with money. I had a really tough time. I wasn't great at finances, and since I had to pay my own tuition and living and whatnot living in a foreign country, I made a lot of mistakes. And those mistakes didn't help me throughout the long run. So right after graduating, I decided to rectify myself, and I set some goals for 2020 when I'll be doing my very first full-time job. And thankfully, following these three things, I have been able to fulfill my goals for 2020, and I've been lucky to still have a job during the pandemic. So in this video, I'll share three technical tips that will help you build a mindset for getting that financial freedom and getting good at personal finance. So bear in mind, I am no financial expert, so there won't be a lot of numbers here, but there will be key mindsets that you can build. So let's get to the three tips. The first tip is to look at how much you spend. That is your expenditure. A few people have come up to and asked me about my job, how much I earn, and how much I've been able to save. And I always tell them, don't look at the amount I'm earning or you are earning. Think about the amount you're spending. Look at your expenditure, because that is the most important thing that will help you save up. Because it doesn't matter how much you earn, you need to know how much you're spending so that you can know how much you can save. So this is super easy but needs discipline. So take out 2 months and straight for 2 months, record every expense you make. Record the amount of money you are spending. Keep a sheet where you will have everything, every expenditure, and find out where your money is going, because you never know what kind of minute expenses are building up. For example, $1 coffee every day becomes $30 a month. So that's a lot of money if you look at in the long run. So we make a lot of these minute purchases that we don't realize, and at the end of the month we think about where did our money go. So the most important, the first tip is look at your expenditure, find out how much you're spending, and then you will be able to budget yourself. That's what I did at the beginning. So before even beginning my first month of job, I calculated how much will I need for a month, like how much fixed expenditure will I have and how much variable expenditure will I have. I looked at those and I tried to keep those constant. I didn't try to go overboard. So keep that expenditure in mind. Don't look at how much you earn, because you might not be able to get a higher paying job immediately, but you might be able to cut down on some unnecessary costs that you are spending every month. So tip number one, look at your expenditures. The second tip is to go step by step. Don't try to achieve all of your goals all at once. It's never gonna work. Don't try to put money for this, and this. Do it one by one. Take it one at a time, because that will help you break down those goals that you want to achieve, and slowly you'll be able to go on to bigger goals. For example, for me, I had some amount of debt after my undergrad studies. I took some loan for my tuition fees and I had to return those. But I also wanted to upgrade this camera for my videos. I wanted to upgrade my computer setup. I wanted to get my driver's license. I wanted to get my very first car. But I didn't think about those until I returned my debt. I didn't until I paid off the money I owed someone else. So you need to keep that in mind. Think about which things are priority number one, and then go one by one. Don't try to put off money for everything. For example, if I have debt, I shouldn't be putting off money for a brand new camera or a brand new PC setup that I want to buy. The debt is the number one priority at that moment. So it depends on which point of life you are at, if you have debt or not, if you have some kind of other obligations, or you have to give money to your family. So think about which goals are important, prioritize, and go one by one. Don't try to solve all your problems in one day or one time. Take it step by step, and it will help you break those down and achieve those goals slowly. So keep it in mind, one step at a time. The third tip is to look at your social circles and find out who you are associating with, because you won't believe it, but a lot of our purchase decisions, a lot of how we spend our money depends on the people we follow or we associate ourselves with. We look at some people who we admire, we see how they live their life, and it might influence us making our own purchase decisions. So you don't want to fall into that peer pressure of society to just spend on the brand new gadgets or the brand new phone that you don't need, but you see everyone else getting it and you want to get that. So there will be a lot of this kind of social pressures that will fall on you, and you need to be able to tackle those. And the best thing you can do is find out who you're associating with and find out what they're doing, what kind of influence they have on you. So try to find people who have a positive influence on you and who help you stay on your goals. So that's what I did. Like at the end of 2019, I tried to look at my social circles, especially on social media, because that's where I am on most of the time. So I looked at which people I follow. I unfollowed a lot of people, I unfriended a lot of people. I tried to keep my circle small and try to keep people who won't have a negative influence, because I had to be on my goal of 2020. I had to keep that saving up that money, paying off the debt, getting my license, getting the camera. And if I saw someone else purchasing something, it might trigger me from doing the same thing. So I tried to evaluate who I followed, who I associated with, and I tried to evaluate my social circle. So that helped me out a lot, because I found out people who influenced me, who had a positive influence, and I followed them. So you should do that to find out who you go out with, what you do when you go out. And this will also tie in with that point number 1, so how much you spend. So if you have friends who spend a lot, go out a lot, and you are someone who doesn't have the budget to do that, and if they don't understand the situation you are in, you might fall into peer pressure and just go out with them and spend that extra money that you need to save. So look at your circles and think about how you are spending your money, who you are spending your time with, and I'm pretty sure you will find out things where you can make some changes, and this will really help you out in the long run. Those were the 3 key steps that I took for the year of 2020 as a preparation for the financial goals I had, and they have helped me throughout 2020, and I hope they help you out too. And bear in mind, like when it comes to personal finance, as the word personal, it's really going to depend on you, and it's really going to vary from person to person, but some key principles like this everyone can use. And keep in mind, the most important point is that things like finances, they take time. It might take more time for you, it might take less time for someone else. So be ready to invest that amount of time when it comes to your personal finance and getting better at it. So take your time, take it slow, and you will slowly be able to grow into it and get better at your financial decisions. That's what happened with me. Now I make far better decisions compared to 2019 or in my undergrad years. Let me know any other tips if you guys have for personal finance. But keep in mind, the things I shared in this video are completely from my personal experience and also things I have watched online, especially Matt Diavella and some financial videos. But I don't talk about anything technical, no maths, nothing, because I think this is more about the mindset thing. You can read a lot of books, but you need to build the mindset first. And speaking about books, I'm planning to read some personal finance books next year. So in the comments below, let me know your favorite personal finance book. I'll try to check them out and get better at my personal finance decisions. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.